What's going on, guys? It's Thursday, just clocked off work. About to head to the gym. So, finally got a little bit cooler weather. It's like mid-70s today. It feels very good. My office was not a boiler room. But anyways, kind of wanted to talk about sacrifices today. Sacrifices I've made, sacrifices you can make, I think, to better your life and to build success and achieve your dream life, you know. So, a little motivation on the way to the gym. I took a rest day yesterday, so I'm just gonna, I think, hit back today. Not back, sorry, hit chest and triceps today. Kind of restart my split. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. If you guys like lifting content, you guys want me to get more into lifting conversations and kind of what I do, and been lifting for like over 10 years, so if you guys do want to hear anything like that, let me know. Obviously, drop it in the comments if that's something you're interested in. But kind of wanted to just share some motivation for you today on sacrifices. And you know, part of this life, unfortunately, if you want to get the life that you really want, if you gotta, you know, build from scratch and you're not blessed with a silver spoon in your mouth like most of us aren't, you gotta give up some shit to get where you want. You gotta make some sacrifices, you know. If you want an F82, an F80, a G80, a Porsche, I mean, whatever nice car you want, you're obviously gonna have to make some sacrifices. It's the shitty part of life. It's the give and the take of life. But kind of wanted to share what sacrifices I've made. In no way, shape, or form is this me telling you these are the sacrifices you got to make, or even, you know, remotely similar to what you got to do. But just some insight from me. And let's get into it. So I think ultimately, first sacrifice I made in my life was going to college. Life was kind of a breeze up until I was like 18, 19. And then and you start realizing, okay, life's all about sacrificing. If I really want to get to where I want to get to, I'm gonna have to sacrifice some stuff. You know, so I moved to the east side of the state, about 5 hours away from my parents. I think that was like a big sacrifice for me at the time. Although I was interested in doing it, I had no problem doing it. I really wanted to. But going to school, taking on debt. Luckily, like I've said in previous videos, blessed with amazing parents. They did pay for a portion of my schooling, but I still graduated with, I think, like, I don't know, 35 or 40K in student loan debt. So luckily that's mostly paid all the way down. But I often think about where I'd be in life if I didn't take on that risk of going to school, taking on debt, and ultimately, you know, if you don't land a job, you're kind of fucked, you know. But it all worked out for me. Landed a good job, and right out of school I started as a financial advisor, and kind of, like I've said earlier in other videos, navigated my way through that. So it's been a wild ride in the career choice, the field of work that I chose after college, but that's really ultimately how I got to where I'm at today. But there's a lot of other sacrifices that you got to make along the way. Sometimes it's your life choices. You know, I was partying a lot, going out, spending a ton of money at the bars, or doing other things that I shouldn't have been doing, that led to just bad things, you know. And they're fun at the time. You know, you got friends that like to go out and hang out with, and, you know, do wild things with, and stay out all night with, and, you know, it's fun when you're young. But eventually I think you grow up, you realize, like, it's not benefiting you, and where you're heading in your heart and in your spirit, where you know you're heading and where you want to go, which is greatness, the pursuit of greatness, that shit, it just can't, you know, it's got to be dropped at some point. You got to let that weight off the wagon so that you can go further. And, you know, maybe that's friends too, maybe that's bad influences in your life. Obviously I've had those, and you got to make the sacrifice of kind of cutting that cord. It's a nice C63 right there. I think that's a C63. I really wanted one of those when I was younger, but ended up in the M4. But yeah, man, sacrificing so that you can pave the way for your future self and get to where you want to be is ultimately the recipe for getting into your dream car, into your dream home, your dream job. You know, do you want to start a family? You got to make sacrifices. It's not gonna be easy. Like, if this life was meant to be easy, everybody would be doing all the shit that, you know, makes you a millionaire. Everybody would be millionaires. Life's not about that, though. Life's about doing the hard stuff. I think I'm gonna try and get this front spot up here. But fuel reserve, that scared me, Jesus. My ask for you, man, is just keep making those sacrifices. Do what you gotta do to this is awkward. Do what you gotta do, make the sacrifices to get to where you want to be. For this channel in particular, it's all about cars and motivation, and you know, helping you beat the odds and build a successful life that you're capable of building. And I want to help you do that, you know. And I think that there's just a lot of sacrifices to be made along the way in your 20s. I'm exiting my 20s shortly, entering my 30s at the end of the year. So just want to give you motivation that it is okay to make those sacrifices. In fact, you should be making those positive sacrifices to get to where you want to be, you know, moving forward, and building that journey step by step so that you can get to that lifestyle that you want to live in. Big house, multiple cars, boats, ATVs, bikes, toys of all sorts, man. I know we all want that, but we got to put in the work, make the sacrifices, and get our head right, get our mind right, our spirit right, and start moving in the right direction for that, so that you don't get there too late in life, you know. So with that, man, I will leave you to it. I'm about to get in this gym and go home and watch the Boise State game. I got family that went to Boise State, so I gotta rep the blue and orange a little bit. So first real college football game of the season, in my opinion. I'm really excited for that. So, but anyways, I hope you are staying blessed out there. Hope you're, you know, making the most of your week. Keep grinding. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, drop a sub, join the fam. And like I said, appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Drive safe.